Last week we started talking about absolute value and what it means. Let's do a quick review. Absolute value is the distance a number is from zero. And it is shown by using two lines. It looks like two L's, or some student thought it looked like an 11 with numbers in the middle. So for example, if I want to know the absolute value of -5, I would look at how far is -5 from 0. It is 5 spaces. Okay, and remember we talked about that distance is only positive. So the absolute value of -5 is 5. Well, let's look at -5's opposite. So the opposite of -5 is 5. So if we take the absolute value of 5, we see that it is also 5 spaces away. So its answer is also 5. As a fun way to remember what the absolute value looks like, I always tell my students to think of the absolute value symbol as the referee in a football game holding his hands up for a touchdown, and every touchdown is positive points. For example, if I have the absolute value of -10, the absolute value of -10 would be 10 because -10 is 10 spaces away from 0. If I had the absolute value of -1/2, the answer would be 1/2. Also, if I had the absolute value of 6, the absolute value would still be 6 because it is still 6 spaces away. Or the absolute value of 100 would still be 100 because it is 100 paces away. We also talked about how the absolute value sign can act as parentheses when there's a problem inside the absolute value brackets. For example, if I had 10 plus 9 in the absolute value, I would solve 10 plus 9 first, which would be the absolute value of 19, and then solve the absolute value of 19 would be 19. So if we thought of the absolute value of 4 minus 7, we would solve 4 minus 7 and get -3, and then take the absolute value of -3. Notice I did not change that subtraction sign to addition. I have to solve what's inside first. I hope this was a helpful little video to refresh your brain on absolute value.